This video is sponsored by Squarespace. You are pixel hoarding. Your photos need help. They need to escape from your phone and into the physical world. Will you help them? Okay, sorry, that was dramatic. People just aren't making photo books anymore like they used to. And I have a problem with that, and I am actively trying to do that. I'm not necessarily talking about this kind of photo book, but this. The good old classic 4x6 photo book. Hello everyone, what's up? My name is Sarad. It rhymes with peachy. I've been wanting to make this video for so long. I'm actually gonna be making a photo book today with you, all around my baby girl's first year of life. Can you believe it? And I wanna get you inspired to do the same. You don't necessarily have to do it exactly how I'm doing it, but hopefully I can help. The past couple years, I've been trying to encourage you to take photos of your real life with your real camera. If you have a $2,000 fancy camera sitting there on the shelf, go out, photograph your kids, photograph your wife. But now there's a new hill I'm gonna die on, and that is bring your photos into the physical world. They're so alone and sad, just sitting on your phone. My childhood lives in these 4x6 photo books. One, they're just extremely nostalgic. I love flipping through them. And two, I actually think they're just extremely practical. I think more people are more likely to make those types of photo books than they are to sit hours and hours on Shutterfly or Artifact Uprising, sit in front of that blank page, and carefully organize a well-designed printed photo book. If you're already doing that, congrats, you're amazing. You're already crushing it. Exit off this video. But I just think there's something practical, tangible about printing out 100, 200 4x6 photos, having them in your hands. You can look through them, you can kind of organize them, put them in books, rearrange them, that I think just more of an average Joe can get behind and actually do than doing a fancy design photo book. And we're gonna talk about those later. And so I am so excited creating my baby girl's first photo book. I'm excited to do it with you guys, and I'm gonna bring you through kind of how I did it and where you can find cool photo books and where you should get prints. So number one is the actual book. There's two websites for this. One, a specific shop called Moki Things, actually has a lot of really cool physical photo books where you can just insert the photos, whether it is Polaroids or 4x6s. They have a lot of different options. And number two, a more general option, is just Etsy. Etsy has so many great things like this. Just search photo book and you can really find some cool things. One that I found that I absolutely fell in love with is this 4x6 photo album by Iconic. I found it for only $29 on Etsy. Moki Things actually has it too, but it's marked up. So I don't know if this Etsy shop has the same supplier or what, but there's a lot of overlap and they sell them for cheaper. But I just love this photo book because it blends some classic elements of also scrapbooking. So you have these pieces of paper that you can put in between the photos to just write down what was going on in those photos. In another life, I would be making scrapbooks for every single year of my daughter's life. I know that that's not practical, and I know that I would probably do it for 1 year and never do it again. So when you're thinking about these photo books, do it in a sustainable way that you can actually continue doing it. So you don't just have one photo album and then you never make one ever again. So I'm a big fan of these Iconic photo books. I got them in all of the colors. I picture them just in a shelf in my entertainment console below the TV where anyone who comes over can just go grab one of the books and reminisce. You know, I love that idea. There's other photo book systems that are even more flexible. They look almost just like normal binders, but they're photo binders, and you can buy different dividers for different sized photos too. If you're taking in a lot of different photos from different sources, that's a really cool option. I also bought a $14 photo book just off Amazon that I'm gonna make for my mom as well. So we're making a lot of photo books in this video. I'm excited. The prints. Okay, here's the thing. I tried Artifact Uprising, Shutterfly, and the good old CVS. Artifact Uprising is the service I use for the design photo books that I do. I think design photo books are really good for specific events or trips where there's like a finite amount of photos. You can get in there and be creative. I have one for our wedding that I really enjoy. So I'm very familiar with Artifact Uprising. And I actually ordered an 8x10 photo with a nice walnut frame. It was really great quality and I have no complaints. It was actually like $10 cheaper in comparison to its equivalent on Shutterfly, which was actually kind of shocking. But Artifact Uprising really makes no sense for 4x6 prints, especially when you're ordering a lot. So their luster photo prints, that's what they call them. That's their semi-gloss prints. I don't like matte finishes for family photos. I feel like it just dumbs down the color. I want them to be vibrant, right? So for those photos, it's $2.04 per photo on Artifact Uprising, which is pretty expensive. Shutterfly is only 29 cents per photo. And Shutterfly's quality is really, really good. It's not the best, but it's very good. And then CVS, don't do it. Don't even do it. I had some photos printed out because I just wanted to see, hey, same day, wow, what a good deal, right? Pick them up, awful quality. Just don't do it. So it's time to make this book. I got a lot of photo prints, and I'm going to talk about the framework that I use to narrow the photos down. But I got 482 4x6 photos printed, which seems like a lot, it kind of is, but it was $139 from Shutterfly. I imagine if you're filling up a photo book of 100 photos, you're not gonna have 400 printed out like me, but I'm making a few books. If you got only 100 photos printed from Shutterfly at 29 cents per photo, it would only be around $30 plus shipping. So it would still be significantly cheaper to do the 4x6 photo album in comparison to a design hardcover photo book. So say you wanted to do the hardcover photo book from Shutterfly, 11x8 for 50 pages, that would be $102. And Artifact Uprising is actually cheaper, coming in at $94. So I definitely recommend going with Artifact Uprising if you're doing a designed photo book. Ah, suburbia. Okay, so here is 500 photos from Shutterfly. Big boy box, look at that. Had to sneak in some photos from baby's first birthday, since she has a January birthday. Since she's baby peach, I figured the first one that we used had to be peach, only appropriate. We already have her ultrasounds in there. That's another reason why I love photo books like this, is you can really put anything in here. Love the notes that you can write. 8 weeks, 13 weeks. Who knew that she was gonna be born less than 10 weeks after this? That's pretty crazy. This is funny. A rogue photo. I actually printed this out with one of those small Kodak printers. It actually turned out pretty good. Other photos, not so much. I think this one is so cute. I'm glad it's in here. I grabbed my label maker, and on the side, I have a nice label, and then you can also write it on the inside here. And then here's the basic Amazon photo book that we're gonna make for my mom. Oof. I think these are kind of out of order, or I might have uploaded them out of order. Okay, this is gonna be interesting. Oh, this is helpful. They put the metadata on the back of the photo so you know what the date is. Let's talk about the curation process. I get really dorky about this stuff. I like putting things into frameworks and processes, and so I thought I would share. Maybe it'll help you. Maybe it'll encourage you to get those photos off your phone and into the physical world. That's the goal. And what I love about this process is in the actual process, you're reminiscing, you're looking at your photos. Here's how I do it. Level 1. I'm calling this finding favorites. A part of this you're just doing throughout your day, you know? My mom sends me some really cute pictures of baby girl. Oh my gosh, look at these, you know, cute 10 photos of her. I'm instantly gonna pick the best 1 or 2. Just add that favorite, that little heart you can press in your photos. Just heart, just quick, just do it without even thinking, oh, these 2 are the best pictures. I do not allow myself to pick more than 2. It's about picking the best. If I'm feeling super productive, I'll sit there and delete the blurry photos and, you know, delete half the photos, only keep a few. But what I found is I don't think that is the best use of your energy and time. If you start worrying about that and deleting your photos, it's almost like you're not finding the needles in the haystack, you're just making the haystack a little bit smaller and saving on storage on your phone. So for me, it's all about just finding favorites. That's really the only thing that matters. I don't stress out about deleting a lot of photos. This goes for taking photos with my real camera too. So if there's a Christmas or a birthday, we're taking some good photos with my Sony camera or my Leica Q2. Immediately after that event, I'm going into my computer, I'm picking the 10 to 20 best, and I'm only editing those. I'm only exporting those, and those are the photos from the event. Sometimes I straight up delete the raw photos. Other times, if it's like a big deal, I definitely want to hold on to all the photos. I'll just put all the raws in a folder that is separate from the folder of my selects, because at the end of the day, when I go on my NAS, I want to see all of the selects from all of the events in my life in one pretty place. And it's very important when you're doing these things that it doesn't take you a long time. If it's going to take you 5 hours to do this, you know, it might take you half a day if you sit there and edit every single photo. Are you going to do that for the next Christmas? No, you're going to be like, oh, takes so long, you're gonna procrastinate, you're not gonna do it. These have to be sustainable and quick for you to actually do them. And then you're gonna be on your way to remembering your life, actively reminiscing. So this finding favorites process gets me from 8 to 10,000 photos down to 1,000, 2,000 photos. Level 2, get the favorites off of your phone and then choose favorites of your fancy camera photos that are in these random folders and bring them all together. I do this on my NAS by just having folders titled selects. So I have selects of baby girl, I have family selects, I have work selects. And this is gonna bring the 1,000 to 2,000 photos that I have from the favorites and all of the photos that I edited from my fancy camera. This is gonna bring those down to, I would say, around 500 photos for the year. And I will say, having these selects folders makes it extremely easy when I need a good photo for either a video I'm making, or maybe someone in my family or a friend needs a photo. I can just go into this heavily curated folder of photos and grab the one they need. I really think it's important to do this as life is happening, because it's not just fun to reminisce as you're doing it, but it's gonna be much easier to do it month by month, year by year, than it is to sit there and do it over like 20 years, right? So you've freed the photos, you've gotten them off of your random hard drives, off of your phone, and they're all in one place on your computer or on your NAS, wherever you hold it, in one folder. And this got me down to 500 photos. The final level, level 3, we're going pixel to page, okay? This is time to make that photo book. It's time to narrow down these 500 photos to now only 100, 200, maybe 300, depending how many photo books I wanna make. And of course, at this stage, I could sit at my computer and I could do a fancy design photo book on Artifact Uprising. Just for me, where I'm at in my life, and for this specific project, that just seems so intimidating to me. And I really want these photos in the physical. I wanna do this final level of curation IRL. In real life. The other thing that I like about 4x6 photo books is you can like take out the photos, you can pass them around. Oh, look at this photo, you can rearrange them. You can take one and put it in a photo frame and take that photo in the photo frame and put it in the book. I don't know, I like 4x6 photo books, if you haven't gotten that yet. So if you wanna save some money, whittle those photos down before you print them. But I'm a crazy person and I printed out all 500 photos. Okay, first photo book is complete. I've started my mom's. This is the first half of my mom's that I still need to narrow down. Middle of my book and the middle of my mom's book. Mom's book, my book, Christmas in between both books. I promise there's order in the chaos. My second book that is started. I started with the first event, which was baby's first road trip, and then the last event, which was her birthday, and then I'm kind of working backwards. Okay, that's a lot. I'm excited to finish up the remaining photo books. You guys don't want to miss my mom's very sweet reaction. But before that, just a quick word from our sponsor, Squarespace. I don't know if you guys have checked out my website recently, saradici.com. It is a Squarespace website, but I have been making it look pretty good, and it's extremely easy because I used Squarespace's Fluid Engine to build my website. It's a really easy, just drag and drop way to beautifully design your website and really make it whatever you want. brand. I've found myself using my website more to just host content that just aren't YouTube videos. And it's really nice to just have one beautiful creative hub that's not just my creative portfolio, but it's also something that can have actual content on it that can help people. I like the idea of that. If you're sitting there and being like, I don't have a creative portfolio, I'm a photographer, or I own a hair salon, or I have a restaurant, I need an online presence, well, Squarespace is the place to do it. Not only do they have so many tools that you can use, they integrate with so many amazing third-party plugins, but they just released something called Design Intelligence. This is where you can input just a few things: the name of your website, what you do. Hey, do you need to sell physical goods or digital product? You click a few buttons and boom, with a little AI magic, Squarespace makes your website from nothing to something in just a few seconds. It's actually extremely fun to watch, and once you start clicking around, you realize, oh, this is a real website. This can just be my website now. I feel like you should check it out. It's very cool. You can go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and if you want to get started today, you can go to squarespace.com/saradici, that's me, for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. I have most of my favorites already laid out. I just have to get them organized, make sure that they can actually fit in this second book. Once I get going, I realize I still have a little bit over 200 photos, so I decide to go with a third photo book where I basically highlight Christmas and baby's birthday. So I filled up 2.5 photo books just for us to have at our house. I'm really excited how they turned out, but more importantly, we gotta get my mom's book done. I duplicated a lot of the favorite photos to have them in both our books and my mom's, but what's fun about this is I would say over half the photos are actually different. So these photo books still stand on their own, and it's just super fun to look at both of them. What's great about this Amazon photo book is it actually has around 140 slots, not just 100. And I found that to be actually the perfect amount. I did not yearn for more photo slots. Oh my gosh, I'm done. Wow, what an adventure that was. My mother is going to love this. I think that picture is so sweet. Christmas. See, taking real pictures with real cameras pays off. But I would still say like 60% of these photos are real camera photos, and then, 40% are just iPhone photos, like these. So cute. Oh, feels good. Okay. So good. Am I allowed to film you? You look cute. Yeah. I have your present.
A present?
Right there.
Right here.
Oh, wow. So nice. Her face is
This is it.
No, I don't think
It's
so.
dark, but this is sweet of you guys. Look at her little smile.
Look at that. She's so little
Condensed 500 photos into 2.5 photo books of baby girl's first year of life. Woo! So you realize we thought she was the cutest thing ever then, but now you're like, oh wait, no, she's the cutest thing ever now.
Yeah, then she was ugly, dude.
No. See, there were so many other good pictures of us, and you chose the ugliest one of me. I sent all of them to have options. I just never think you're gonna main feed when I'm not looking the best. Yeah, clearly.
The same way you're looking at you. That's a good picture.
This is so sweet. I love that we have this now. It's such a special gift for the people in your life too. It really adds perspective of where you've been. I want you to feel how I feel right now. I want this for you. Okay, so I want to end this video on what I'm calling my memory stack. People have their productivity stack, their video editing stack, the apps that they use, the processes that they go through. And so I just want to talk through my stack on how I intend to preserve memories, relive memories, and therefore be more present and grateful in my present life. Number one, for photos. So we got the 4x6 photo albums for stuff that we've already talked about, right? This is for life as it's happening. We're gonna keep this up to date. We're gonna do this month by month, year by year. Number two, the designed photo book. Now, I do this occasionally, but just for special events, like for our wedding, right? I have a set amount of 200, 300 photos. I wanna tell a story in a beautiful designed photo book that I can also print off multiple copies for people. There is a time and place for this. However, I got beef with this still, and I think this might be a part 2 video because I love Artifact Uprising for the quality of their books, for the quality of their prints. They just look great. However, the process isn't super smooth. It still takes me a very long time to go into their editor and design them in the way that I want them designed. And then when it comes to modifying that design, it's really annoying. I want to make an extended version of our wedding photo book that also includes photos of Paris, of our honeymoon after, but there's no way for me to go back into that editor and add pages. All you can do is just get another print of the same exact photo book. It's so annoying that they don't save the projects for you to go in and tweak or add photos or add pages later on. Like, what's up with that? And also, I've had some travel photo books that I've made in the past through Artifact Uprising, but because it was 5, 6, 8 years ago, it has just disappeared from my account for some reason. So I can't even reprint that really cool photo book that I made of Greece. So this has just made me realize that, relying on an online service to keep the layouts of my photo books is extremely sketchy. And so the way I want to do this going forward is I need to figure out a way to get these templates into Photoshop or InDesign, design these photo books on my own in my app of choosing, so I can then save them as a Photoshop file, save them as a PDF, and then upload them to these services. This is going to allow me much more flexibility in the future to reprint or to modify and reprint. I just haven't figured it out yet, and I've tweeted about it, and no one really has a great answer. So if you have some advice for me on that, leave them in the comments down below. This is definitely going to be a part 2 because I want to dive into that part of just photo books and just printing photos in general. There's some just like pretty landscape photos that I've taken outside of family photos too that I feel like it would be nice to just have a book of those. So I definitely feel like the designed photo book has a place in my world. I'm just focusing on these right now. It's just way less intimidating to do this for some reason. Maybe it's not for you. Go for it. And the last part of my memory stack for photos is just getting them in photo frames. So I went on Etsy and just bought a lot of cool vintagey frames. You could probably buy these in thrift stores for like $2 to $3, but hey, this person saved me the time of going and scouring all of those stores, and so I paid $10 to $15 for each frame, but they're so cool. It's such a cool vibe, and I'm slowly putting photos into those frames. Still, half of them have the stock photo in them, but they don't actually look that bad, so I'll just have them sit on my shelf, and it's just a reminder of, Sarah, put a real photo in this. We're waiting for you. All right, so what am I doing for video? Preserving baby's memories, our family's memories in video, right? I have a whole process for YouTube videos here, but if I lost videos from our first year with baby Peach, that would be awful. And so I really want to make sure I'm not just actively editing and curating these videos, but I want to make sure they're in a safe space. So I have folders on my NAS. It's kind of like the photo selects, but I make little home videos. So whenever we go on a trip or just a month comes to an end and I have some iPhone clips and some good camera clips, I put everything together in just a 5 to 10 minute video. I don't put music, I don't put text, I don't put graphics. It really is just a very quick cut, trimming the edges. Sometimes these videos are only 2 minutes long because she just had, a cute laughing fit and I just want to put 3 of those clips together. I title them with the date and, baby Peach laughing. I put them in one folder in my NAS and it's just so easy to access, use them for other videos, or just sit there and reminisce. Press the space bar, watch the video, have a laugh, say, oh my gosh, John, remember when she did this? And it's very similar to the family home videos that we have of us growing up, where my dad would just get his big clunky camera, press record, stop, and you'd be recording to the same tape. So, we'll have a 30-minute tape that is basically just the selects from the year, the Christmas and birthdays, the best clips throughout the year, just on one 30-minute tape. And it's really fun to just sit there and jump around and watch those. And so that's kind of the approach that I'm taking with baby, capturing those little moments as she grows up, making sure that I'm actively editing them, smushing them all into one video. So I have a couple videos from every month of life. And yeah, it's backed up to a second NAS, and it's just really fun to have all of that in one place to just watch. I need to make another NAS video because I've made some changes and I like the way it's getting organized, and I still have a lot of organization that I need to do, but that video will be coming out soon. And then what about words? How are you documenting, your baby's first words, or when they did this, or the first time that they ate food? There's all of these different baby books that they sell you, like $30 each, and it's like your baby's first this and that. And there's so much to keep up with, and I purchased a few of those books. But as life didn't exactly go according to plan, and our life didn't fit in these predetermined prompts of these books, and then I thought about it, I was like, I have journaled for the past decade of my life. It is really cool to look at a moleskin that I have from like 2016 and to see the loose script of the Casey Neistat parody video that I made. That was my first viral video and really changed my life, right? And it's been really special to have those notebooks to look back on. It's anywhere from just chicken scratch and a to-do list for the day, and so it shows kind of what I was focusing on, or it's just straight up journal entries where I just feel like, I gotta get something out, and I write things down. And so just having journals like that, not treating them precious, writing anything and everything in them, has really created a good system for me just to get my thoughts out of my head and into paper. It's helped me a lot. And so I was just like, why don't I just do that for my daughter? I just got her own dedicated moleskin, and I just write to her when something amazing happens, when something mundane happens, or when something really bad happens. Like we just spent the past week in the hospital with her. She was on oxygen after a really challenging time with RSV. It was the worst. I had to work through it, and so I wrote down in her journal. And one day when she's older, she can read about all of these moments of the first puree that she ate and the first steps that she took and the hard times, right? She has a complete account of her birth and how awful it was from her mom, right? Like 4 pages of that. And so I just think that is a really easy way to keep track of those things. And that's what I keep coming back to. You can't pick the aspirational choice. You can't pick every photo book is going to be beautifully designed and it's going to have a perfect color scheme and all the photos are going to be perfectly cropped and edited. No, you can't do that. You have to pick what you're actually going to do and what's going to get done. And so for me, for words, I'm used to writing in a journal, and it doesn't have to be every day. It doesn't have to be every week. I just do it when I want to, when I feel like it. And that, along with all of the other things that I'm doing for photos and videos, has just proved to be not just cathartic for me and fun for me, but it's something that gets done. And that's the most important part. A lot of this has come from moments where I'm just kind of sitting there with my daughter, whether I'm snuggling or playing with her, and kind of just being actively nostalgic for the present moment. And I'm like, I want to remember this. I want her to remember this. I want her to see this stuff. And it feels really good to have started this process and to be actively doing it. So, the last thing for like tchotchkes, like I have the tiny diaper that she wore when she was 2 pounds in the NICU. That I just bought like a decorative box, and I just put tchotchkes in these like boxes. So that's my whole memory stack. So hey, grab your phone right now, or your calendar, or your planner, whatever you use to keep track of the things that you're doing in life, and just put a day of this week where you're gonna sit down, spend 30 minutes in your phone, select favorites, or an hour on your computer. Go through those photos and actually pick some of your favorites. You don't even have to edit them. Just pick your favorites. Take one step in the direction of making that photo book, of preserving your memories, and your grandchildren will thank you. I promise you. It's not just for them, it's for you. You will find yourself being more grateful as you walk through your everyday when you're able to look at some of these photos from the past year, from the past years, and just be like, wow, look where I was. That was super challenging. That was hard, but I'm still here. I'm still breathing. I'm still living this thing called life. And I just think it can be super rewarding. All right, guys. This was probably a long video, wasn't it? I'm so sorry. I don't know. I only know how to make videos like this now. But hey, if you like it, you can smash that like button and also the subscribe button down below. Check out my Squarespace link if you want to check out Design Intelligence. It's actually very impressive. And well, until next time, stay peachy. Okay, bye! I'm so glad I made this. I've been wanting to make this video for a long time. I'm glad we did this today.